Good morning, folks. Rory from Folk Rock Farm here. Want to talk about our compost setup here. We're about to spread it. This is fertility that cannot be bought in any bag. I want to show you how we make it for free and with very little effort, at least on our parts, and how you can do the same. Also, I want to thank everyone who responded so well to our last video. It's great news all around for all of us. And a huge thanks to anyone who's placed tree and plant orders through our website. It means so much to us. We're a very small farm. It's just myself, my wife Jenna, and our soon-to-be first child. So your support means the world to us. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for supporting us. So the last few years, we've reached out to local landscapers who pick up all the leaves around the neighborhood. If they need a spot to dump them, we have all this frontage here along our gravel driveway. And even as we go around the corner, a whole other area. And this is working multiple functions. So, I mean, first of all, it helps them out. They usually have to pay to dump somewhere and drive across town. It kind of sets them back time-wise, getting their job done, so they appreciate it. And for us, obviously, it provides that carbon base for our compost setup, as well as mulch for our garden beds and orchard. And as Joel Salatin would call it, our carbonaceous diaper. So these provide our carbon base to soak up the nitrogen, and this is what pretty much all fertility is built off of, is carbon and nitrogen. So also, this smothers everything that was here. If you could see when we first moved in, this whole driveway coming down to our place was just a tangle of vines. We're way down there. This whole entire run was vines and thorns and weeds, and it was just a mess. So in addition to being the backbone of our compost and mulch setup, this is smothering all of those weeds, keeping them from coming back after I've cut them. Then in a few years, I'll move the leaf spot and we can plant hazelnuts or some other shrub all down here, like we have started to do here, just baby hazelnuts. Eventually, it'll be like driving down a corridor of about 400-foot rows of hazelnuts, which will be awesome. So just about any area will have some sort of carbon source. We have leaves here. We also get wood chips for free. Or I should say essentially free with the leaves and wood chips. Occasionally I'll give the hard-working crews a six-pack to keep them happy and coming back, and they really appreciate that. But anyway, if you can divert what's a waste stream for other people into your farm, so we have all this fertility from around town is now coming onto our land and adding its nutrition and all those good minerals, carbon back to our land where it wasn't before. So of course, compost wants three things: that carbon base, a nitrogen source, and to be aerated and scratched through. Chickens love to do three things. They love to scratch through a carbon source, in this case leaves, and break it all up and aerate it. And they love to eat and poop, which adds the nitrogen. And we'll also add more nitrogen with when we mow the lawn, and fruit scraps, veggie scraps. But they do a whole lot of the work for us. Occasionally I'll come in here and loosen it up. But this became that in just a few short months. They make quick work of it. The magic of compost is that it helps any type of soil. If you add it to sandy soil, it will help to retain water. Right here, it hasn't rained in months. It's actually been a record dry fall for us. September and October, we didn't get really any rain so far in November, and yet this still has ample moisture. So you add that to sandy soils, that will retain moisture for quite a long time. But then the second beauty of it, if you add this to clay soils that already have a ton of moisture in it, this will help to aid in water drainage. So it'll help both ends of the spectrum, retain water in sandy soils and get rid of excess water and allow it to drain in boggy, clayey soils. So an absolute magic ingredient. And of course the whole time they're getting all sorts of good nutrition in the form of bugs, seeds they might find, nuts, all the scraps we add in. So it keeps them healthy. Their eggs are healthier because of it, and it keeps them entertained. There's less fighting. And this end result, we get glorious, beautiful compost. It's one of the main backbones of our farm, of any farm really.